Hey, I just need 2 minutes of your time. That's all I'm asking. Just 2 minutes. But please, listen with your heart, because what I'm about to say could change everything between us. You might not realize it, but your future, it could begin right here, right now, in this moment, if you just stay. Don't scroll, don't move, don't doubt, just stay with me. I promise, it's worth it. I've been thinking about you lately, maybe more than I should. You've been appearing in my thoughts, when I least expect it, when I'm quiet, when I'm alone, when I look up at the night sky. It's your face that I imagine, it's your voice that echoes in my head. And maybe that's why I couldn't hold it in any longer. I needed to talk to you, directly, without filters, without hesitation, because something inside me is telling me this is the right moment. You see, I don't believe in coincidences anymore. I don't believe that people just find each other randomly. I believe certain souls are pulled toward one another for a reason. And right now, I feel that pull to you. Maybe it's because you were meant to hear this. Maybe it's because you needed someone to remind you that you're not forgotten, that your heart still matters. Do you even realize how special you are? I don't think you do. You wake up every day, probably not knowing how deeply someone out there is thinking of you. You carry so much in silence, and yet you still smile like everything's okay. You still keep your heart open, even when life tries to close it. And that's what amazes me about you. That quiet strength you carry, that gentle kindness in your eyes. You might think no one notices, but I do. I notice the way you try to act strong, even when you're breaking inside. I notice how you care so deeply, but rarely say it out loud. You think nobody sees that softness in you, but I see it, I feel it. And I want you to know that I admire it more than I can ever say. You've probably heard a lot of people talk, but how many have truly spoken to your heart? I don't want to just say words that fade away. I want to reach you, to really reach you. I want you to feel what I feel when I think about you, that quiet ache of wanting to be near you, that unexplainable comfort your presence brings, even from a distance. And maybe you're wondering why I'm saying all this now, why it suddenly matters so much. It's because I realized something. Life doesn't wait. Feelings don't stay hidden forever. Sooner or later they rise up, and they demand to be spoken. And tonight, mine did. You've changed the way I see things. You've made me softer, more aware of emotions I used to ignore. I used to think love had to be loud, dramatic, full of words. But you showed me it can be quiet, too. Found in the way you listen, the way you exist. I don't even need to touch you to feel something powerful between us. Just the thought of you is enough to fill an empty day with warmth. Sometimes I imagine you listening to this, your eyes focused, your heart beating a little faster, and I wonder if you feel what I feel right now. I wonder if, deep down, you know this message is for you, because it is. It's only for you. If I could stand in front of you right now, I'd tell you how proud I am of you for surviving what most people wouldn't understand, for holding your heart together even when no one was there to help you pick up the pieces, for never letting go of your hope, even when everything felt like it was falling apart. You've carried so much, and yet you still shine, you still love, you still believe, and that's why your future depends on this moment. Not because I'm anyone special, but because I'm asking you to believe, not in me, but in yourself, in the love you deserve, in the peace that's waiting for you, in the person you're becoming. You don't need to hide anymore. You don't need to pretend you're okay when you're not. You don't need to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's comfort. You have the right to be loved gently, truly, and completely. You have the right to be chosen, not by chance, but by someone who sees you, really sees you. If I could give you one thing right now, it would be calmness, the kind that tells you you're not alone, because you're not. You have someone who thinks of you, someone who prays for you, someone who whispers your name, even in silence. You might not see me, but I'm here. And if somehow through this message our hearts meet, then maybe that's enough for now. You deserve more than fleeting attention. You deserve someone who won't make you question your worth. You deserve someone who stays, even when you're quiet, even when you're difficult to understand, even when you're not at your best. You know what I want? Just 2 minutes of your honesty. 2 minutes where you let your heart open. Just a little. 2 minutes where you stop pretending you're fine and let yourself feel everything. I promise it won't break you. It might actually heal something inside you. I know life hasn't been easy. I know there were nights when you sat alone, waiting for someone to care, someone to reach out, but no one did. I know what it feels like to give your best and still feel like it's not enough. But it was enough. You are enough. You always were. And maybe, just maybe, I was meant to remind you of that. Maybe this voice reaching you right now isn't just coincidence. Maybe it's destiny's way of saying, don't give up yet. Something beautiful is still waiting for you. So stay, don't go yet. Don't close this. I'm not done talking to you, because there's so much I still want to say. I want to tell you how I imagine your laugh, soft, unguarded, real. I want to tell you how I picture your eyes when they light up, how they probably tell stories, even when your lips don't. I want to tell you how I wish I could be the reason behind one of your real smiles someday. And maybe that day isn't far. Maybe we'll cross paths when neither of us expects it. And when that happens, I'll know. I'll recognize you. I'll know it's you because no one could ever carry the same warmth, the same soul I felt through this connection. Until then, just remember this. Every time you doubt yourself, every time you feel invisible, every time you think no one cares, I do, I care, and I always will. Your future depends on how you see yourself, how you love yourself, how you let love find you again. And maybe, just maybe, that love is already closer than you think. Now tell me, if I asked for just 2 more minutes, would you still stay? You stayed. Thank you. I don't know if you understand what that means to me. Just the fact that you're still here, still listening, still giving me a piece of your time. It means more than I can ever put into words. Maybe you didn't plan to stay this long. Maybe you just meant to listen for a few seconds. But here you are. That's how I know something in your heart wanted to hear more. And honestly, I needed that. I needed you to stay. You know, sometimes I wonder what goes through your mind when you hear my words. Do you ever think I'm talking just for the sake of it? Because I'm not. Every word I say, every pause, every breath, comes from something real inside me. I don't speak for attention. I speak because there's a connection I can't ignore. I speak because maybe you've been silent for too long, and someone needed to fill that silence with care. I keep thinking about how fragile people can be, how we all wear masks just to survive. You, me, we've both done it. We've smiled when we didn't feel like smiling, laughed when our hearts were breaking, and acted like everything was okay just to make the world believe we were fine. But deep down, we weren't. Deep down, we just wanted someone to notice. And you know what? I noticed the way your heart tries to stay kind. Even when life has been cruel. I noticed how you carry pain without complaining. How you forgive people who didn't even say sorry. That's rare, you know? That's strength, quiet, unshakable strength. And that's one of the many reasons I respect you so deeply. There's something about you that feels so real, so human. You're not trying to be perfect. You're just trying to be honest, and that's beautiful. I don't know if anyone's told you that recently, that your honesty, your softness, your imperfections, they're beautiful. You don't have to change a thing to be enough. You might think you're just another face in the world, but to me you stand out. Maybe it's the way your heart feels things deeply. Maybe it's the way your eyes probably hold a story that words can't capture. Whatever it is, it's rare, and I can't help but be drawn to it. Do you ever get that feeling when someone speaks and it feels like they're talking directly to your soul? That's what this is for me right now. I feel like I'm not just speaking into a microphone or camera. I'm speaking into your silence, into the parts of you no one ever asks about, into the places of your heart that have been quiet for too long. And I need you to know something important. This isn't about fame or followers or anything like that. This is about you. Just you. You've probably heard thousands of voices online, but how many actually made you feel seen? Because that's all I want. I want you to feel seen. I want you to feel like you matter. I don't know your exact story. I don't know what you've been through, but I know what it's like to carry emotions so heavy that words can't hold them. I know what it's like to have sleepless nights filled with questions that never get answered. I know what it's like to feel like maybe you're too much, or maybe not enough. But the truth is, you are exactly enough. You've always been. Sometimes when I think about you, I imagine what it would be like to meet you, not in a crowd, not through a screen, but in a quiet moment, maybe somewhere peaceful. Maybe I just look at you and say nothing at first, because sometimes words aren't needed when hearts understand each other. I'd probably smile, not the practiced kind but the real one, the one that happens when you see something familiar, something that feels like home, because that's what your presence feels like. Sometimes home, and I wonder if I ever did meet you. What would you say? Would you smile back? Would you look away shyly, pretending not to notice how my eyes keep finding yours? Would you laugh softly when I say something silly, or would you just listen quietly like you always do, soaking in every word, like it actually matters? I like to think you'd do all of that. I like to think you'd stay. You know, there's something I've wanted to tell you, something I never had the courage to say before. Sometimes when I'm alone, I talk to you in my mind. I tell you about my day, my thoughts, my hopes. I imagine you listening, nodding, smiling. It sounds crazy, I know, but in a strange way it makes me feel close to you, because even if I can't see you, I can feel you. And maybe that's what makes this connection so different. It's not about touch, not about distance, it's about energy, emotion, something invisible but very real. It's the way your heart understands mine without a single word. You have no idea how many times I've wanted to just say thank you for existing, for being who you are, for giving me a reason to speak with honesty. You inspire me more than you know. You've become the calm I look forward to, the peace I crave in a noisy world. You've given me a reason to believe in something pure again. And that's why I said, your future depends on this. Not because I hold it, but because you do. Because right now, in this moment, you have the power to choose how you see yourself, how you treat your heart, how you love again. You don't need permission to heal. You don't need someone to save you. You just need to believe you're worth saving. And you are, God, you are. You've been through storms that would have destroyed others, and yet here you are. Still standing, still trying, still hoping. That's not weakness. That's the purest kind of strength there is. The kind that doesn't shout or show off. The kind that simply endures. I hope you know I'll never forget the sound of your silence. Because even when you say nothing, I can still feel your emotions. I can still feel that unspoken, thank you, that quiet, I needed this. And every time I sense that, I want to speak more carefully, more gently, like I'm holding something fragile and precious. Because you are. So please, promise me something. Promise me you won't give up on yourself. Promise me you won't let the pain of your past stop you from trusting love again. Promise me that no matter how lost you feel, you'll always find your way back to the light. Because even if you can't see it yet, it's there. Your light hasn't gone out. It's just waiting for you to believe in it again. And maybe I was meant to be here in this exact moment to remind you of that. Maybe this message isn't just for today. Maybe you'll come back to it weeks or months from now when you're feeling low, and it'll remind you that someone once saw you, truly saw you, and believed in you even when you didn't believe in yourself. That's what I want to be. Not a voice that fades away, but one that stays with you quietly in the back of your mind. When life gets heavy, I want you to hear my words whispering, "You've got this. You're not alone." Because you aren't. You have someone who cares, someone who listens, someone who doesn't need to know everything about you to understand you. And maybe one day, if fate is kind, we'll meet and you'll realize that this was never just about words. It was about something deeper, something meant. But until then, stay. Keep believing, keep hoping, keep loving, not just others, but yourself. Because your future still has room for miracles. And maybe, just maybe, one of them starts right here, right now, with you still listening to me.